Have you ever been so impacted by something that it leaves no doubt as to what helped shape you? Welcome to The Blind Impact, a podcast where we talk about and uncover those moments. Some funny, some sad, but it's not always tragic. I hope you'll stay for a while. Hey, Rigo, you on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hey, how are you doing today?
Uh, Doing all right.
All right. So, hey guys, today's guest is Rigo, and this is the Blind Impact. Rigo, do you want to, or could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us some background on some things you may want for us to know about you.
Uh, let's see. I'm 57 years old. I've been working retail for Jesus Christ, uh, 30 years,
Oh.
32 years. Uh, um, so I've been dealing with people for quite a while now.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
about it.
okay. Rigo. So you're 57, huh? It's a nice experienced age.
Is that what that's called? I just consider it old.
No, that's no, that's definitely full full of experience for sure. You've seen some things. You definitely have. Definitely have. So Rigo, what's your story for today? What are you thinking about talking about?
um, I don't know. When we talked before, we were talking about how the difference between how I grew up and how kids are growing up nowadays,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
uh, or I should say how parents are bringing them up,
Yeah.
because that has a large part to do with.
It does.
So and the 30 some odd years of retail, you get to see kids in every oh my god, every part of how they were brought up, how they do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have some that say yes sir, no sir, thank you, yes,
Right. Yep.
and others that others that are at the other end of the spectrum. Um, it's just I don't know. It's just completely different of how uh, my era grew up and how they're growing up now.
Right.
It's just the difference.
It is very different. It's
Um,
also very sad. But can you give me a little bit of like history on how you grew up? Like what were the things you were taught?
well, um, respect was the number one issue.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It didn't matter if it was a relative or who. You showed respect to anyone, an elder,
Mm-hmm.
which was anybody older than you. Was you showed respect. That was it.
Right.
Um, and now if if it came down to that somebody said or did something wrong towards myself, then I wasn't allowed to say anything bad to them. I had to go report it to my parents, and they would handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's just the way that I grew up. I know it's old time and everybody has it different, but it's just I just see such a difference. Um, and like I said, I work in retail. I see kids come into the store. Growing up, mine was all right. We're going into the store, and I'm one of five. So I have
Okay.
one older brother and three sisters,
Ooh.
and um, and I'm the middle.
Okay.
So it was we're going into the store. You're not getting anything. Don't ask for anything. Don't act up. You'd go into the store. You'd walk in there, and you talked with your siblings. You didn't ask for anything because you were already told. Don't
Mm-hmm.
ask, you're not getting. And uh, you'd get the look. You would get. I mean, see, and that's just it. Nowadays, you give somebody a look, they'll flip you off, or they'll, kids, what are you looking at, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if growing up, my dad gave me that look, that means you're gonna get it when you get back in the car. You're gonna get it when you get back home. If you have to get it now, you will get embarrassed in front of all of these people in the middle of the store.
Yeah.
So you knew the outcome of the look.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Mom didn't give you the look. Mom would reach over and pinch your arm, give
Immediately.
you that little twist, that little, oh yeah, yeah, So it's completely different nowadays. uh and I'm not saying it's all of them, but it's a few that still behave themselves. They still do what you can tell that they're they have
Home training.
some kind of control. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of and then there's some that they'll just go crazy. um I was at a store. I was at and the mother and son, they walk into the store. And I'm sorry, but I had my daughter growing up. I had her. She knew that she would hold on to my shirt. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she would walk with me. I wanted to know where she was at. Too many bad things happened,
Yeah.
so she was always by my side. And this little boy, he walked in. He went one way. Mom walked in. She went the other. And then throughout the store, you'd hear, "Johnny, I'm over here," and they're on opposite sides of the store. And a few minutes would go by, "Johnny," and she would just holler out his name, and just to find out where he was at. I was like, "Oh my god, okay." Or you get the kids that the mom says, "No, no, no, don't start." And
Mm-hmm.
then they just start yelling at the parents, uh cussing at them or whatever else. And it's kind of like, oh my god. And I bite my tongue because it's not my kid, it's not my say so, it's nothing. It's just outrageous how some parents just allow their kids to do and say whatever they want.
At any time, in any
It's
place.
I mean, if I was to embarrass my parents, I wouldn't be sitting for the next month. That's how bad a whooping I would get.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong. My parents were strict with me or with us.
Mm-hmm.
They disciplined us as needed. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we also got all the love and all the attention that we needed. Also, it wasn't just sit down and don't do this, because we got all the attention. We got the discipline. So I mean, it's not one or the other. You
Yeah.
you can do both. I mean, it's just being on our part. And I mean, I know that I speak from me,
Uh-huh.
and I'm pretty sure my siblings are the same way. That uh, we were lucky that we had the discipline that we did. I know. I think I might have turned out a little different if I hadn't.
Oh yeah. I believe that.
But
I mean, I think that discipline is it's so necessary, and there are people nowadays that would completely disagree with it, but it's like if you're disagreeing with some sort of disciplinary action, then you may want to look at your own life and see where you are, because it's necessary. I don't care what anybody says. It is to rear a productive child, right? Somebody who's got the manners and somebody who can continue to pass that on with their own kids, because generationally, you do have to work in order to be able to maintain whatever your standards are, and that they don't just happen. So it's a training thing.
Exactly.
It's a training thing for sure. But I think so in your with
Yep.
in your family. I know you mentioned your dad. He would be the one to really handle up on the kids, and your mom, she didn't wait around, to let you know that that there was going
Oh
to
no,
be
no, 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 no.
something happening. But did you?
You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the the thing with us, it was mom was a stay-home mom when I was growing up,
Okay.
and so she was always at home,
Okay.
and so if anything happened, and just a little one case, um report cards came home,
Uh-oh.
and I failed two classes or two courses,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in the mind you, I was in the second grade.
Okay.
Okay. So it was this was back when you would get a grade on your handwriting, on because back then you would try to write cursive,
Mm-hmm.
and so I failed my handwriting, and I failed science.
Oh no.
So for, and mind you, this is how old I am. This is back then. It was no ABCs. It was C's, G's, and N's. So
Oh.
that was the grading thing. Yeah, it kind of got you too. Um, so a C was basically an A. A G was a C basically now, and then an N was a fail. So I had two N's. So my siblings all brought in their report cards. They all did great. And for every for every C that you would get, and mind you, this is this is 50 years ago. Um, you would get you would we would get a quarter for every C, and you would get a dime or something for every G, and you would get a spanking for every N.
Uh-oh.
So everybody everybody gave my mom the report cards, and she said, "Oh, great! Oh, good. Rigo, where's yours? Here you go." Uh, okay. So she said, "Well, you're gonna have to talk to your dad, yada yada yada." And then so everybody's talking, everybody's doing fine, and then dad shows up. Dad gets home from work. Well, um, everybody lines up to give him the report cards. And once he gets the report cards, he says, "Good, okay, good, good, good." And then he says, "Rigo, yours?" And I said, "Here you go." And he goes, "Okay, all right." Mind you, when I hand my report card over, never have I seen my siblings basically run out of the living room. So
Disappeared.
my dad said, "Okay, okay." He says, "Go get the paddle."
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if you remember, uh, Astro World in Houston. They had little like little rowing paddles, but it was
Okay.
just for a little display. So they were probably about 2 feet long, a
Okay.
little bitty paddle. And so he said, "Go grab the paddle," and that was the spanking paddle. And
Uh-oh.
he said, "Okay." So he said, "You got two failing, okay? So you get three licks per." and you get three weeks of grounding for each one. So you get to go back out again whenever you get to be ungrounded once your report card come back again.
Uh-oh.
So I got 6 licks, 6 weeks 6 weeks.
Grounding.
Hell, you can say probation. Yeah, 6 weeks grounding, and man, it was the hardest 6 weeks of my life. One,
Oh.
because I couldn't sit down for a week,
Oh.
and every now and then, my mom will say, "You remember that table?" I said, "Yep." She's yeah, so do we. It still
Uh-oh.
had your fingerprints under it, where I was hanging on to the table when I was getting my lick. I
Oh
was like,
man.
"Jeez,
Yeah, second grade. That's such a baby. Gosh.
hey," but it'll teach you.
Yeah,
It'll
absolutely. And
teach
your
you.
your dad was not wrong in doing that, you know. But the
No,
six
I mean,
weeks, that's a long time.
well, I tell you what, I didn't fail any more classes.
I bet you didn't.
It,
You're
it
like,
was it was. We're not doing this again. No,
no,
no, no. Now,
no,
mind you,
no, no.
I did get licks because I did mess up here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but
Of
not
course.
not for things like that. Not for
No,
failing courses, classes.
no.
But
Yeah.
but that's just it, you know. And a lot of people say, "Oh no, you can't do that to kids," because no,
I
it's
can.
not that you can't do that. It's that they think that everybody who is going to spank a child is going to abuse the child. No, it's you have to know how to control yourself to be able to discipline your child. You know,
Absolutely.
I, and that's the thing that nowadays a lot of people are. No, that's abuse. That's abuse. That's no, it's not.
No, it
It's
isn't.
called. Uh, but
Child rearing.
everybody has their own. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
Huh. I mean,
I have. I have. I have a 16-year-old daughter,
hmm
and that girl did not take anything from me. She is an A student. She
Oh,
is ranked number 4 in her class.
wow.
She will be a senior next year. She is a cheerleader. She's top of her class. I mean, everything. Now, mind you, I did, I did, I was very disciplined with her.
Good.
I you know, um, in her 16 years, 17 years that she's going into, I did spank her 3 times.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Uh, One time, and I still remember them, and that's the bad thing. One time, it was those terrible twos. She was doing the
Mm-hmm.
testing,
Mm-hmm.
so she got a couple of swats on her butt,
Uh-huh.
and then another one. She was just being a little pain, so again, swatted her,
Yep.
and then she was in the 3rd grade, I think, and she failed a class,
Mm-hmm.
and she decided to change the grade on it, and then she told us that the teacher told her that it was supposed to be a different grade. So then when I went to go ask about it, the teacher said, "No, I never did that." I was like,
Oh,
okay.
boy.
So went home, and uh, she got sweats on her butt, and she got a couple of weeks of grounding,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that saying, "It hurt me more than it hurt you."
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God, that is so true.
Yeah.
It hurt me. Right after I did it, I sent her to her room because I could not stand to see what I had done,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and so I mean it's yeah,
Yeah, that's tough. You
it,
probably
it's
cried a
just
little bit. You're like, oh gosh, I can't believe I did this. And yeah, it is a it is, and you would not be the only male to admit that. You know, even if you didn't cry, it does hurt your heart. quite a bit, and it doesn't keep you from doing it again because you need to, you have to,
Yeah.
but it's
Hmm.
something that I think you learn to try and remove yourself emotionally, right? But it's also
Yeah.
it's a task. I mean, it's very difficult because you are doing it out of love and like for the protection and the betterment of them, and it doesn't lessen the sad feelings about it, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, everybody's better for it. And the kids are like they have, how like dogs will be like reprimanded, and the dogs will just come right back like it's all forgiven. That's the way
Yeah.
kids are, especially in that in that younger age group. They're just like, all right, cool. I just got a whole whipping and I'm back. They cry and they come back. But
See, and that was one of the things that her mother and I didn't agree on.
oh,
She
okay.
didn't agree that I was that I should have spanked her. But
Oh,
then after I did do it, and then she waited a while before she let it sink in when I sent her to her room. She let it sink in before she went to talk to her.
okay.
And her mom came back and said, you know what, I didn't agree with you spanking her. Says, but I think that it was the right thing to do. And I said, why is that? Says, because I don't think that the spanking hurt as much as you would think. It was that you spanked her.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. So I mean, it was that hurt. And I
Wow.
was like, wow, okay. So now you just kind of took another jab at me. Okay. But no, I mean, and like I said, my daughter, as of now, my daughter has, I couldn't ask for a better child.
Oh, that's so awesome. I bet she probably knows that, right? Like you tell her that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
that's cute. She's
So
like,
I
thanks,
mean,
Dad, for the
it's
stream of spankings.
yeah. I don't think she says thanks, but yeah, no. But but I mean, like I said, it's not that you're gonna go and beat your child up every time that they do wrong. It's just
Hmm.
that you're gonna discipline them so that they learn. Okay, this is not allowed. This is not this. This is not that.
Right.
Um, and my my voice is not. I don't know. This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but some people get scared with my voice, especially
Hmm.
when my voice gets very deep and like you'll know when something's wrong or something's bothering me that I don't agree with or something. And I found out I mean people had told me and all, but I was like, yeah, you're just, whatever. And my daughter was 3 years old,
Uh-huh.
and we were in my truck and we had just left the grocery store, and I got up on the road to go home, and some guy just cut me off. And me and
Uh-oh.
my daughter were joking and we're singing and we're doing whatever. And this guy cut me off, and I got a little upset. And my daughter says, "Daddy, why you mad?" And I said, "What?" She says, "Why you mad?" I said, "I'm not mad. Why do you think I'm mad?" She says, "Because your your voice went from talking like we were talking, and then you went whoa whoa whoa." I
Uh-oh.
said, "Say what?" She said, "Your voice started getting real deep." And I said, "Oh, okay."
Uh-oh.
So when your 3 year old tells you that your voice gets real deep and she knows that you're mad, yeah, I guess
Jeez.
your voice changes.
Yeah. Yep. And those kids, they pick up on all of that sort of thing. I mean,
Oh, yes, they do.
yeah, it stands out, and they're not afraid to tell you. Something's off,
God
Dad.
no.
Something's off.
Yeah.
So you do you still get to talk to like your parents about, I mean, I guess you, like you said, like you don't really thank them for disciplining you, but they've obviously done a good job with raising you, and I'd imagine it's the same for your siblings. But like, do you guys talk about any of that amongst yourselves, like you and your siblings, or your mom or your dad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We 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 talk to our parents about that. A lot of times, you know, when you were young, you if you got away with something, you never let it out. You never
Uh
told them. You never told your folks, hey, I did this when you weren't watching, or when you weren't home, I did this and
oh.
whatever. Well, now that I'm 50 some odd years old, hey mom, guess what? Remember that black eye that I had that I told you it happened during football practice? Well, I got into a fight after school, whatever. What?
Uh oh.
So we revealed some of the stuff that we did, and I was like, but we didn't get caught, mom. It's all right. He's no, oh, okay, yeah. So it's just revealing some of the stuff that we got away with, and mom gets a little starts laughing because, oh really, oh okay, so go get the paddle. Nope, nope. I threw that one away a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yes,
That's cute.
no, but yeah, so we each we each have our little ghost in the closet that we reveal every now and then that we're thinking about something or whatever. But yeah, we are very thankful, and we thank my parents whenever we can. Um, and my dad
Mhm.
is going to be 82 years old this November, and
Oh, wow.
we almost lost him a few years ago, and
Okay.
he's still kicking, he's still fighting, and so you know when I was younger, my dad would grab a hold of me and that. And so now I pick on him, and he'll fight with me, and no 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 no. So he'll use his incapabilities right now that no, this hits, no, nah, don't start, and he'll walk off and he'll go laughing. But yeah, we thank our parents for everything that they sacrificed,
Mhm.
that they did, that everything they've done for us. It's
Absolutely.
you know we didn't have everything, but everything that we had was what we needed.
Mhm. That's exactly right. Exactly right. And
So
your parents are like some awesome people. What do you think they're? I mean, aside from God, because we know He's the only one that can give and take life. But what's their secret? Like your dad's 82 November. Your mom is where about? I mean, like
my
what?
mom is 79.
Okay, so she's
She'll be
79.
79 this August.
Wow, what are they doing? That is, gee, that's beautiful.
I
Man,
have I have no idea. And right now, my mom is the one that takes care of my dad,
of course.
and so I'll pick on her whenever I get a chance. But you know, I
Jeez.
love them both to death. It's just
Yeah, how can you not?
we as me and my siblings, we are very blessed to have my folks
Mhm.
as long as we've had, and hopefully we'll have them for many more years. Uh,
Yes. So
according
nice.
according to mom, she said, no, not that many, not that many.
Yeah.
And my dad is always, no, that's it. And well, see, here's the funny thing about that
Uh-huh.
is that growing up, my mom always said, no, I'm only gonna be I only want to get to 30. That's it.
Oh.
Once. once 30 was coming, okay, maybe 35. Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? Let's just quit counting. All right, we're gonna go however long we can. So it's just been. I mean, I have been very blessed with my folks and my family because
Yeah.
I see through a lot of other families, both relatives and non-relatives, that brothers and sisters aren't speaking to each other. They haven't spoken to each other. They haven't spoken to their parents and so on. And I'm just grateful that I do. I have an awesome family. So
Yeah,
I'm
and I
blessed.
mean, yeah, very, very blessed. And what are your thoughts on that? Since you brought it up, why do you is anything ever in life that serious enough to warrant just separating? And then if your parents are terrible people and they're abusing you in some way, then yeah, I'd be done too. But if it's not that, then what could be so bad that could cause you to, you know what I mean? Like not deal with
That
your family.
yeah, I mean, and that is something that I have never understood. Um,
Mm-mm.
I know, um there's a friend of the family that he hasn't talked to his dad because um he criticized him in front of his wife or something or another. So, and just he quit talking for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then it just became. And now they haven't spoken in over I don't know how many years now, which is
Mm-mm. No.
I, I don't know. It's just something that I've never understood. That's why I say I'm blessed that I have the communication with my folks, with my
Yeah,
siblings that I do. Um,
absolutely. Goodness. I think I kind of feel like
you know,
at the root of that, it's pride, and it just
yeah,
doesn't need to be. Just get over it. Get over it, dad and son, which is probably usually the ones that are that are at odds, which is strange because you feel like their men are able to kind of like roll things off, and it's the women that can hold the grudge. But you have some men that don't mind holding a good grudge too, especially if you're older, like an older man, set in your ways.
yep.
You're like, forget this. Oh well.
Setting your ways and not only setting your ways, but I tell my dad, quit being so stubborn. Quit being stubborn.
Yes.
And my
Yes.
dad, my dad will get mad at me. He'll get mad at me, but then I go and I poke at him and I tease him and I mess with him
Mhm.
because that's what he used to do to me.
Yeah.
And so now the roles are reversed and
Yeah.
the old man has become a young kid that you got to kind of mess with.
Yeah. You
But
do, and that helps keep them young too in a way.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
It absolutely does. Well, Rigo, I
Uh,
appreciate your story. And do you have anything that you'd like to add to your story?
no, not really. I mean, I
You've
think
said it
I've
all,
talked
huh?
enough. Yeah.
we can never talk too much. Okay, is there any advice since we're since we're talking about parenting and disciplining? Is there any sort of advice you feel like you could offer to the audience on that?
Well, advice as far as um, the only thing that I can think of as far as uh, raising your child
Hmm.
is you do have to have some kind of discipline in order to have the child come up the way that you want it to. You can't allow them. You have to guide them one way or another.
Yep.
You can't just tell them, okay, there's the road, take take the right one, and you expect them to follow the right road. You got to kind of guide them one way or the other to be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, that's basically what I think. And I know people don't agree, and that's why everybody lives their own life.
That's exactly right. Live their own life and don't want to hear what we have to say, huh?
Exactly. But then because you don't listen to other people, you also see whether how your decisions come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I do
So
know.
I mean, sometimes sometimes you have to listen to other people's advice, even if you don't respect the person. Or sometimes they do come up with some good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I
it
agree
helps.
with you. I agree with you on that. Well, thank you once again, Rigo, for taking the time to talk. I really, really appreciate your wisdom here on the show, and I'm sure others will also appreciate it as well, sir.
Well, thank you,
Uh,
man. Thank you for inviting me
cool.
on.
Yeah, of course, of course. Hey guys, this has been the Blind Impact. Today's guest is Rigo, and we should definitely hear what he has to say. And we will talk to you or see you soon.
Thank you, man. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Yeah, thank you. You too, Rigo. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of The Blind Impact. If you like the show, please rate, subscribe, review, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. If you have a story you'd like to tell, please email me at theblindImpact@gmail.com. Or if you have a story you'd like to have read here by me, please include those details in the email or the voice message. Thank y'all, and remember, it's not always tragic.